Guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you are an Apple user in the UK, I've got some very bad news for you because apparently Apple have removed their encryption feature for your data, meaning right now that the government, the UK government, can have access to your private data on your device if they want to. I do have the articles pulled up in here from Sky, and in here it says Apple removes advanced security tool over UK government role. And another one in here, this was from a few weeks ago, Apple ordered by UK government to let it access users' encrypted data. Now, what exactly is all this about? See, Apple offers their users an advanced data protection feature that offers true end-to-end encryption. Basically, all your data, this isn't an iPhone, this is Android, but let's just assume this is an iPhone, right? All the data on your phone, right? Your images, your video, everything is encrypted. Now, the only way to decrypt that information is by a key that's stored in your Apple device. So even if hackers were somehow able to gain access to your encrypted data, they stole the encrypted data, because they don't have the key on your device, they will not be able to decrypt your data, so it's practically useless to them. This is why it was a true end-to-end encryption. Even Apple themselves were not able to access the encrypted data of their own users. But for some reason, the UK government decided that, hey, you know what? We want to have access to the encrypted data for our users. So they demanded that Apple provide them with a backdoor through which they can access the encrypted data on the devices of their users. But Apple said, you know what? No, we're not going to provide you guys with a backdoor. What we're going to do is we're simply going to remove the advanced security tool. And that's pretty much what has happened right now. And of course, there are people who say, well, this shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, if the UK government has access to your data, what's the big deal? You're not a criminal, you're not a terrorist, you don't have anything to hide. But that's not the point. How would you feel if a complete stranger, somebody whom you don't know, has access to your information? The person can access your emails, your images, your videos, your files. How would you feel? Obviously, you wouldn't want that to happen, right? So I don't know why some people just feel that, oh, if it's the government, then all of a sudden it's acceptable. It's not. This is about privacy, and I feel people have a right to their privacy. And the real issue right here is the real consequence right here is this. It is the fact that if the UK government can now access the data of the users, guess who else can now access it? That's right, hackers and potential cyber criminals. So if you're an Apple user in the UK, you get hacked, you can thank your government for doing this, for giving access to the hackers. And the members of parliament, the people in the government who supported this idea, I don't know if they realize that they too themselves could become victims. If any one of them is an Apple user, then they too can become victims of this, because hackers can also go after them. They don't have the security feature anymore enabled on their devices. So this is a big story. The UK government haven't officially given a reason as to why they demanded this. They say, oh, we don't comment on such matters. But here's the truth, okay? Even if they were to give a comment, they're going to give the same old excuse that, oh, it's for security purposes, it's for national security. You know, we're always facing terrorist threats. We need to make sure that we keep our country safe, which is, of course, complete BS. You don't need to spy on your citizens. You don't need to gain access to their private, confidential information to protect them. That's all BS. And the hypocritical thing about this whole story is that this is the same UK government that will accuse countries like China and Russia and North Korea of being totalitarian regimes. The people there aren't safe. The people there don't have freedom. Meanwhile, you're trying to access the private information of your own citizens. And I just think it's really hypocritical of the UK government trying to accuse other countries of not promoting freedom of speech or privacy or things like that. And I think this is a big deal. Hopefully, they will realize the mistake and ask Apple to restore the advanced protection tool. And just before I go, I also very quickly wanted to talk about this particular video that we got from CBS 60 Minutes. One thing about me is that I am a very, very big proponent of free speech and user privacy. I believe that totalitarian governments, these are the two things they go after. They go after your ability to freely express yourself, and they also go after the ability of you to have private information. I've talked about the privacy issues with the UK government. Now, this is about freedom of speech in Germany. I don't know if you've seen this interview. I would recommend that you watch it because it's actually very, very, very chilling. Basically, you can be charged and you can be fined in Germany if you insult people. If you insult a politician, you can get fined. I'm not making this up. If you call a politician in Germany stupid or use any sort of language, any sort of foul language to describe a politician, you can get fined. And it's a real thing. I actually thought this was a parody, this was a joke, but no, it's real. And this CBS journalist, she sat down with these three Muppets. Let me expand the video. These three Muppets right here. These are the people who get to decide whether they should fine you or not. These are the people, and in fact, this man in the middle right here, the one with the, well, they're both wearing glasses, but this one in the middle right here, he said something like, oh, well, yeah, the people in Germany, they have freedom of speech, but you know, freedom of speech has its limits. Really? Like, haven't these people learned anything from their history? Haven't they forgotten a particular leader of a particular party that they had not so long ago that tried to censor free speech? It's like they never learn. And you have them like gleefully talking about how, yeah, we've fined people thousands of euros for, making foul remarks, for abusing government officials. Like, who are you to decide whether or not what somebody said was an insult or not? These are the three Muppets, or some of the Muppets, who get to decide what is acceptable speech in Germany. And I think this is absolutely chilling. You should watch this interview. It's very, very, very chilling, and it's a real shame because this is supposed to be Germany, right? This is supposed to be the UK. This is supposed to be Europe. This is supposed to be where people have privacy, freedom of speech. This isn't supposed to be, the Middle East or in North Korea or in China or in Russia. And it's just, I don't know what to say. Honestly, if you live in a country where you have genuine freedom of speech, where you're able to criticize and even abuse your government officials, you should be thankful, okay? Because that is apparently a right or a luxury that many countries are now fighting against because, it hurts the feelings of the government officials. So I thought this was very, very disgusting. And anyway, let me just leave it at that. So anyway, going back to the original story, Apple removing their advanced security feature from their users in the UK. So if you're in the UK, you're an iPhone user, well, you may want to consider switching alliances over to Android. I'm just kidding. If you want to use your iPhone, keep using your iPhone. But I will say take extra precautions to make sure that your data is safe. Maybe don't store any sort of important information on your devices. You can store them on hard disks or hard drives, basically any kind of storage that is offline. Don't rely exclusively on the iCloud or on your Apple devices to keep your information safe because that feature is no longer available. That's it for today's video. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear from you. Put them down in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. If you're new here to the channel, welcome. My name is Alex. I talk about issues evolving around cybersecurity, censorship, and things like that. So if this kind of content interests you, be sure to just subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so they're notified whenever I upload a new video. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you next time. Cheers.